Thanks for staying with us. We still have Pastor Nike here with us, our guest. And before the break, Nima has asked about parenting. And the reason why parenting is important because of age issues.
Relationships.
Because there are lots of young people who are 15 today, they're 14 today, girls, and they're getting into all sorts of relationships, and they are idolizing all the celebrities. You see a Rima, oh my God, Rima. As a young kid, they're looking at Rima and they're thinking, oh, I'm in love with Rima. But fast forward, these are the kind of things that can happen. So the issue of parenting, what can we do as parents to help our young teenagers who are idolizing all these big celebrities and how to manage these relationships?
Yeah. Thank you. I think first of all, as parents, especially mothers, we also should deal with our own trauma. We should get over peer pressure. We should get over peer pressure, because I think some parents too, mothers, if you have not dealt with your own peer pressure, trying to fit in, for example, vices, if you're not authentic, if you're not real, if you've not come to deal with yourself and see that you also have some things going on that are unhealthy, how would you correct your own child? I think over the years, you have to also sit down and talk to yourself, and deal with whatever things are unhealthy. And there are lots of them.
In the case of a rebellious,
it's not about judging.
I just want to say something, because
so
I
that
don't want
you
to
can
sleep.
also correct and protect your children, your girls. So you can also teach them right values and be honest with them. They would ask you questions, even if you lived a very ugly life when you were their age, say the truth, or tell them that you want something better for them. There is no need to hide. All of us did not come first.
Exactly.
Mrs. Adeyemi,
Yes,
you know
ma'am.
what?
Pastor Adeyemi.
It's okay. I'm Nike
She's not here as Pastor Adeyemi, she's here as
I'm
Mrs.
Nike Adeyemi, the real woman.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to be real with us.
Yes.
This is Thursday. It's our gisting day.
I know,
so I don't want all these. Let's gist. Let's talk about this matter.
I'm trying to be careful. But that is where the
I don't want to put her on the spot.
No, I'm okay. That is where.
Last time I checked, I'm the one driving this conversation.
Okay, that's true.
You're not the one driving the conversation.
Through our authenticity.
Drive it. If you like, drive it inside.
I know what Auntie Yeni is saying.
Gist.
Through our authenticity, we're able to help people. And my life is not perfect too.
So talking about parenting, there's this phenomenon I like to call it. It's this my helper mentality. There have been stories we've heard before of a young man, maybe he goes and he sees a young girl he's interested in. He's constantly giving the parents money, paying for bills, and then she helps her go through school. When she's done and decides to choose someone else, people will be like, after all, nobody asked him to come. For me, I feel that there's a situation where parents are looking at men that come to their daughters as their helper, and they are forgetting to protect their children. Even if the child is underage or inexperienced, it's not important. As long as this person has something that he's bringing to them, they're excited about that. I can remember, during the early days of this Two-Face and Annie's relationship, whether we liked it or not, in Nigeria, the whole of Africa, she was the face of the lucky girl that had found love by the most popular celebrity in the world.
Not to me.
She
was African.
She was African queen. Many teenagers wanted to be her, and if you had a parent who also, instead of being parents, were fans as well, that they allowed their child to be swept off in the celebrityness of everything as well as themselves, you have issues like that. So sometimes it's not that, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes parents also do not know what the right thing to do.
That's why I was saying that parents have to heal from their own trauma and from their own greed and from lack of values.
Recognize that people have trauma.
They have to greed. Because it's not maybe greed publicly, a lot of people may have said, oh, she's the lucky girl. But if I was in that era or notice or whatever, I may not come out and say, but in my mind, I'll be saying red flags. I don't want to be her parents. I don't want to be, because it's too low. It's too low to be the baby mama that was now chosen. It's low. It's a low life. Didn't they send her to school? Didn't she go to school to also earn money, to also have? Why can't you be that light as well? Why can't you be that star as well? Why can't you see?
Why do you want to live under the shadow
of somebody else?
Because
why can't you also be that
when
star?
We were growing
it's
up,
bush.
It was better. It wasn't better to be underneath the shadow of a big name.
It was not.
It was something
maybe to some people, but not to me and my family. It wasn't. So it depends on how people are brought up. It's values. It depends on how people were brought up. And their mindset.
Okay, I want to drive this conversation to
their mindset. Everything is not money.
Yeah.
Everything is not fame. You will eventually get it when you work on your own skills that God has given you. And God has given everybody something to develop and put out there.
There's an angle I like us to touch on, because a lot of women are going through different things in their marriages and are thinking, at what point do I leave? Especially as Christians.
Okay.
There's always that thing of, okay, yes, if it's beating you, everybody says, yeah, go. But sometimes it's not about beating. There's emotional abuse, there's mental torture. Maybe he's sleeping around, he's having children in different places. I'm forgiving him continuously. Society is telling me that as a woman now, you have to understand these things that come with this territory. So they're thinking, at what point do I say I am done?
I say we all have different thresholds. Leave when you are done. Don't die in a marriage. I don't think it's God's will for anybody to die in the marriage. Some years ago, we heard about Osinachi.
Yeah.
Gospel minister. I never met her, but I heard about her. Gospel minister. And she was being abused, and she stayed there. Why did she stay there? I even heard that her twin sisters, after she passed, I knew that she had a twin sister, and there was a story of how her mom and her twin sister tried to get her out, and she still went back for whatever reasons best known to her, thinking, okay, maybe she was thinking this is how I make heaven. Maybe she was thinking this is my own cross. Maybe I'm saying for whatever. And
for a woman staying.
Yes, but she's
staying. And sometimes,
maybe she was leaning to that prize to look good to fit that.
Yes.
But she still died. So what price has she paid?
The ultimate
at the end of the day, what ultimate price?
Because what they tell us, when we're growing up, is that if you stay, your children would you'll be blessed for it.
First of all, I think the problem from the beginning is glorifying marriage. I think that's where the problem is. Glorifying marriage to young girls, just selling it as the success.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was not a qualification to enter heaven.
Yes.
Okay.
Last time I checked.
Yes.
In fact, I imagine that if you are married and you get to the gates of heaven when time comes, Madam Mrs., how did you treat your husband? We see, we are watching you. You are very harsh. You are bitter. Stand aside. So we see whether you enter. The singles come. You are single. Singles will not be judged by how they treated
anybody.
Yes, it's per question.
You know.
So
I think that you have to, before you get married, think about it seriously. But marriage is causing people to. When people are in the wrong marriages, or their partners, or they also are not working on it to do better, it's sending people into depression. It's killing that leads to physical death. And depression, if not attended to, is a kind of death. Losing your mentality, losing your, because eventually if you don't leave, that man will leave.
Let's talk about the support to leave. The support, either the decision to stay, the support you need, or the decision to leave, the support you need. Because yesterday I was talking about the women around her. We know, I married at 26, we know we need the support. We need the women who's walked this road to tell us how it's going to be, to give us options to choose from, to make it either easy or difficult, to let us see how it's done. And I'm wondering, how is it possible that in her circle, moms, sisters, her aunties, friends, classmates, there was no one who could say, Auntie, it's
the
enough.
power of celebrity. I think we forget that at that time.
Maybe some of them were sleeping.
Maybe they told her. Maybe they told her and she didn't listen.
Exactly. So there's
maybe they were scared to tell her because they'll be tagged the bad friend, jealous. But maybe they told her and she didn't listen because it's not. Again, there's this part where may not be easy to live because of the soul tie, because of the children involved, because you've been doing life together and you feel a part of you. And that's why they have to go for
there's a time. Let me ask, sorry to interrupt you, let me put this in perspective. So the time she was paying the price, Mura is describing this thing, price, I need to do this, I need to make it work, save my marriage, all of that mentality, that time don't pass. Now where she is at, I'm sure she's not, talking publicly. And the guy is living his life, he's publicly. Something certainly will be happening mentally. She'll be, even you can discreetly do this whole thing without, So how important is the support now? Those people now, how do they come? Can somebody hug her and say, get up?
Yes.
Enough. Don't cry, finish.
She has to be counseled. She has to be in rehab if necessary, counseling, friends. Plenty of love, not judgment, not judging her, but love, so that she can bounce back.
There's tough love.
Because so that she can go from pain and one day, hopefully, to becoming powerful and tell her story one day, maybe write a book, maybe help and advise younger women coming, and even for her own daughters to do better.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue our conversation and open our phone line. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.